Hello, my name is Edward. I'm one of the maintainers of Trashland, and I'm just going to be talking about how to use hooks within Rhum. So Rhum provides various hooks to use, such as before all, after all, before each, and after each. And what that means is that depending on the hook, for example, before all, it's going to run that function or run the code within that function before each test case or test suite. So let's start off with writing a simple test with some hooks. So I'm just going to import for the latest version of Rhum and just set out a basic test structure. There you go, it's got a basic test structure, and let's just create a basic variable called name, and let's just assign it Edward, which is my name, and then let's say before each test case within the test suite of test, we're going to reassign that. I believe it is before each. There's no name needed to pass to it, and it just uses a callback. And let's reassign the name to Bob. Then we're going to assert that value has been changed. Name should equal Bob. Now let's run this test, and the name should equal Bob. That's because there's a typo there. Clear that. Try again. And that's because there's a bug in Dino 1.5. Just need to clear the cache to sort out that problem. And there's an incorrect permission that I'm passing in. And I forgot to add the rum.run at the end. Okay, let's try this again. So everything should work as I expected now. There we go. So now let's just log out within the test suite. I'm just going to log out the name here. Then inside the test case, we're going to log out the name again. So in the first instance, the name should be Edward, and in the second, the name should be Bob. There we go, yeah, Edward, Bob. So like I said, there's 4 ways, or 4 different types of hooks. There's before each, before all, before all, the after each, and after all. So let's try before all. Actually, let's do city. We'll try all of the before hooks. So before all, we're going to assign the name to Bob, and then before each, we're going to reassign the city. And let's just say, well, region. That's probably best to use. Region equals US. Run.test case, and let's change this to name should be Bob. So how this is going to work is before all of these test cases, it's going to assign the name to Bob, and then before each test case, it's going to assign the region. So before all, the name should be Bob, and the region should be US. Then let's change the region here to equal UK again. And then we're going to assert the region should be US. And let's just copy that code across. Okay, and then let's run the test. There we go. It all passed. Because how it will work is within this test suite, before each test case, it's going to run that function, and then before all of the test cases, it's going to run that function. So, for example, this function here is only going to run once, and that is when it hits the test suite, it's going to check if there's a before all hook, and it's going to run that function. Then before the test case, it's going to check if there's a before each, it'll run that, and then it'll do that for how many test cases there are. And once once each test case is done, Rhum is going to check if there's an after each hook, it'll run that hook, and then it'll check if there's an after all hook, and once all the test cases are done, it's going to run that after all hook. So let's change this to an after each. So the region should be US. So currently the region should be UK. And then after each test case is going to reassign the region. So let's remove that. And then in the second test case, because this hook has run after the first one, the region should be US. So let's try that again. There we go, perfect. And say if we put in any random value there, it should fail. It's expecting the US, because after that test, it's going to assign the region. So that's hooks in a nutshell, really. Like I said, there's before all, before each, after all, and after each, and these can be ran for each test suite too. So let's just copy these, and within the test plan, we're going to paste that back in. And what this means is that before all test suites and after each test suite, it's going to change the value. So let's add another test suite here, just to test that all works and just to show. Let's just give it another random name for the time being, and then let's make a new test case. So before all of these, the name should be Bob. So name should be Bob. And then we're just going to assert that the name has been changed to Bob. There we go. Then in another test case, we're going to make sure that after, actually what we'll do here is we'll clear that down, and just going to reassign a value here. So we're going to assign the region to ABCD, and then what should happen is that it should assign the region to ABCD. Then after each test suite, So once this test suite is completed, it's going to reassign the region. So by the time we hit this test suite, region should be US. So let's try that. Region should be US. Rhum data certs cert equals region should be US. Right, let's try this. Hopefully it does pass. There we go. Perfect. So that's hooks in a nutshell. They're quite simple, really. Very similar to how the setup is for Mocha and Chai. Thank you for watching.